Entitled couple want me to stop playing video games in my home. Long one, so sorry about that. So for context, my apartment is at street level. Look out my front windows and can see cars and people going about their day. I'm right by the traffic lights. Seen a few people go the red lights too and had a giggle at it. Anyway, Saturday afternoon I was chilling on Minecraft mining away with me freshly made diamond pickaxe. After a while I decided I wanted to play some GTA 5 with mods and see what utter chaos I could unleash. Super Michael was soon running around Los Santos blowing stuff up and shotgunning people in the face. Such good fun. I sometimes do this as a way of anger management, and it really does work. So on there killing not real people with all the overpowered weapons mods give you when my door buzzer goes. Pause game, go to the door. Entitled Mother, my son was watching you play that game, and I want you to stop playing it, please. Me, wait, I'm sorry, what? I turned to my window, and this kid, like 7, had his face pressed up against the freaking window. That's a violent game, and you should play something nicer. Me, why the hell are you letting your kid get that close to my house? You're lucky I don't call the police for trespassing. Please go away or I will. Entitled Father, are you deaf? She said to play a nicer game. Me rolls eyes, I don't care. I just don't care. This is my house, where I can do whatever the hell I want. If you look in and see it, decide you don't like it, that's your issue, not mine. My son does want to watch that violent game. Can't you play Minecraft instead? No, stop looking through my windows and go away, please. This is stupid. You can't dictate what games I'm allowed to play. I'm calling the police. You're being very rude and not cooperating. Me, go ahead. So I go back to my game and make a fuss of turning my screen a little more to the window because it's more comfortable for me and carry on blowing shit up. I just strapped some sticky bombs to a passing bus and detonated it, and then unloaded my minigun into a fat dude's face when I hear a scream of disgust from outside. I and the kid and EF are still at my damn window. So I leave the game running, get my DSLR camera, take their photo and pick up my landline. All while standing in the window so they can see me. I dial the police and get put through to the non-emergency line. Me, hello. Yeah, hi, there's 3 strangers outside my window and they won't go away. I just shut my curtains, hoping they would leave, but now they are banging on the window screaming at me. Total lie. Police, okay, we will send someone over. About 10 minutes later, a cop car pulls up outside my house. By this point, I really had shut my curtains, hoping it might make them leave. For context, the windows in my apartment are single glazed, which means the outside is real easy to hear. Conversations, cars on the street outside, cans bouncing about in the wind, annoying shit like that. Anyway, the officers in the car start talking to the entitled parents and kid outside. I can't hear the well cause I'm still blowing shit up at Los Santos Airport. But I lower the speaker volume just enough to hear what's being said. He was letting my son watch a violent game through his windows and encouraging him to tell him who to kill next in the video game. Officer, right. He was talking through an open window. Yes, he was. The second officer knocked on my door and talked to me. I showed her that the only window that was even able to open was the one that was over the entrance to the basement underneath me, and there was no way anyone could stand there to talk through the window. I showed her the photo I took of them gaping at me, and she left. Both parents were fined for harassment of a private residence, or something to that effect. I couldn't hear properly. I was laughing at them too loud, and were told if they didn't leave right now, they would be arrested for trespassing as well. The both of them were yelling and shouting about how my video games were inappropriate for kids. And I say to myself out loud, so why were you letting your snotty-nosed, red-faced goblin child stare through my freaking window for 20 minutes? I spent the next hour laughing and giggling to myself, while keeping one eye on the front window in case they came back. TLDR, entitled parents kid watched me play GTA 5. parents got angry that I was playing a violent game and ended up being fined for harassing me.
AM cheats on ND Sower, and the kids need a vacation to fix the marriage. This all happened about a year ago, and it's still going on to this day. Am is my sister, and she the stereotypical Karen. Her name is even Karen. How crazy. She has been married to ND for about 20 years, and they have 2 kids together. Last year, the family found out she was sleeping with her boss. They were caught in the act by security footage, and word started to spread quickly. We live in a small town, so things travel fast, and apparently they have been having this affair together for years. Sadly, ND ended up staying with her. But not only that, he had to comfort EM because her work boyfriend ended up getting fired. Her own husband had to comfort her after she cheated. I was already pretty pissed off that this was happening, but I kept my mouth shut. I'm a 20F and she's 22 years older than me, so in her entitled mind my opinion doesn't count because I'm younger. Now it doesn't end there. After this all happened, and obviously ND is upset but wants the marriage to work out for their kids' sake, but the EM asks him to pay for a vacation for her and the kids without him BTW to fix their marriage. How does that even make sense? But here's the craziest part. ND agrees. I don't understand it at all. She's been going on these vacations for the past year now during a pandemic BTW, and her kids did not go either. They now hate her because her teenage daughter wouldn't go on these vacations with her. Em decided to go slash her car tires in return, I guess because she was mad. Like WTF, the incident happened about a few months ago, and none of the family talked to her that much anymore after that because who the F does that? The only good thing that's happened after this is she called our dad a few weeks ago because ND was running out of money to pay for her therapy vacations and wanted him to pay for one last one, saying she needed it to fix her marriage and that it would help the kids through this. Obviously, our father said no, and he told her to ask her work boyfriend. He told me she tried to tell him he was a shitty father, and she was his kid, so he is too. My dad doesn't take shit and refuses to deal with any type of drama, so he just laughed it off and basically told her to fuck off. She hasn't spoken to any of us since then, thank God.
Em wants me to give her son my $50 tip. Sorry for the long post. So I work at a very busy restaurant. We get loads of customers every day. Bear in mind, this is pre-pandemic. Anyways, on to the story. So I try to be as professional as I can at work. But sometimes I also try to slip in some humor to keep the mood up. So I put on a little show for a group of people after I have delivered their order. Everything seems fine until the EM and her son walk in. I already felt uneasy by their presence, as the mother didn't look like she was in her best mood. So I keep on doing my work for about 10 minutes before I go to the group again to clean up their table, and all of them gave me about 50 tip for putting up a good show. Unfortunately, the EM noticed my huge tip, and as always, she was hungry for some cash. After the group had left and I was wiping their table, when the EM and her son comes up to me with the fakest smile I have ever seen in my life. Hey, how are you? Yeah, I am good, thanks. I saw that you got a pretty hefty tip there. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty surprised myself, hee. And well, you surely don't need that money. You are so young. Your parents are probably buying you everything you need. But my son here could use that money as he really wants this new video game. So would you be so kind to give him the money? You don't need it anyway. At this point, I was dumbfounded. Did this bitch really ask me to give her son my tip? I work in a restaurant to save up for when I need to rent an apartment for university. Yeah, no. That's not going to happen. I actually need this money. No, you don't. Your parents can just give you the money. You don't need it at all. You need to listen to your elders, so hand it over, young man. Yes, she literally said that. I do have a bad temper, and I can get annoyed pretty fast, so right now I was fuming. But I didn't want to lose my job, so I kept as calm as possible and told her in a very toxic way. Well, if he really wants that game, go buy it for him, and don't come here on your knees begging for money. And I will keep this tip, and you can fuck off, please. The manager heard my argument with this bitch, and as always, she instantly ran up to him saying that I stole her money and demanding that I get fired on the spot. I have a somewhat good relationship with my manager, so I'm not too worried. and not care to explain why she is saying that you stole her money. Me, well, I didn't steal anything from her. I got this money as a tip, and she came up to me wanting. And cutting me off, that's bullshit. He just grabbed the money out of my hands. And calm down, man. Let up speak. The manager was visibly annoyed by now, and I was about to explode. We continued to fight about it for a good minute or so before one guy from the group came over. They were outside smoking. Cool dude, hey, sorry for interrupting, but I can confirm the money is ops. We gave him the tip for being a good waiter. Well, I guess that sorts it. Man, would you be so kind to get out of my restaurant and don't come back? The entitled mother gave me a death glare, but I just smiled and giggled in her face as she stormed off with her kid hanging after. That feeling when she knew she lost was the best feeling ever. I also got the rest of the day off for the hassle. The LDR, he demanded that I gave my tip to her son, but she got served right and left empty-handed. Edit. Some clarifications and corrections. This is a rough translation of the Carno that went on my language, so some parts might sound exaggerated on English, but it's pretty basic where I live. We are pretty straight out with our choice of words.
Mother is entitled. Months ago I went to my drug-addicted sister's wedding, and my wife revealed that I was married. I didn't tell my family I was married to avoid drama. A day I got an odd call that went like this. Hello. Mom, Wolf, can I talk to your wife, Ann? Why do you want to talk to my wife? Mom, well, your youngest sister Abby wants and to do her taxes. Noah wouldn't agree to do your taxes. Mom, and is Asian and is great at math, correct? Me, and is great at math, but it's not because she is Asian. Mom, so she do it. Me, not for free. Mom, since I am the mother of her husband, she needs to comply with my wishes. Me, I will ask her about it. Plugs landline phone.
Check out my other marvelous videos.